Okay, we're going to review setting up a trig ratio. I want you to remember SO, CA, TOA. First one, I have cosine of C. I label opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Cosine of C is equal to A over H. I need tangent of X. I label opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Tangent of X is equal to O over A. Tangent of A, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Tangent of A is equal to O over A, 9 over 40. Cosine of X, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Cosine of X is equal to A over H. Sine of A, I label opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Sine of A is equal to O over H. Sine of C, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Sine is O over H. Sine of C, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Sine would be O over H again. Sine from Z, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Sine is O over H. Sine of Z, I label opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Sine is O over H. Tangent from C, I label opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Tangent is O over A. And those are my trig ratios. I do not have to solve for the missing angles. I just set up the ratio. Example 2, I am solving for the missing sides. I need to round to the nearest tenth, which means I will have one number after the decimal. Given my angle, I know O, I do not know H, and I know A. Because I know O and A, I use tangent of 16 equals O over A. I need to solve this equation, so I'm going to multiply by 15 to get it out of the denominator, and I get that X equals 15. Tangent of 16 equals 4.3. I label opposite. I don't have hypotenuse. Adjacent, I'm using tangent again, of 20 equals O over A times by 16, and I get X equals 16 tangent 20, 5.8. On problem number 13, I do not have O, I have H and A. That means I'm using cosine of 36 equals A over H times by the 17 to cancel it out, which means I have 17 cosine of 36. 13.75, that 5 will round it up, so it's 13.8. So I only need one number after the decimal. My angle is 18. I have opposite and hypotenuse. That means I'm using sine of 18 equals O over H times by the denominator on both sides so that we are fair. X equals 19 sine of 18. 5.9. I have my angle, no O, I have an H and an A. Cosine of 41 equals A over H times by the 14. X is equal to 14 cosine of 41, which is 10.6. Opposite, no hypotenuse, adjacent. Tangent of 52 equals O over A times by the 18. X is equal to 18 tangent of 52. 23.0, or you can just write 23. Opposite, no hypotenuse, adjacent. Tangent of 71 equals O over A. Now this one's a little different because I have X in the denominator. I need to do the same step where I multiply by the denominator in order to cancel it out. So those are gone. Now, I cannot enter X tangent of 71 into my calculator, so I'm going to divide by tangent of 71 on both sides. Because I have a multiply and a divide by, the tangents will cancel out on this side, and I'll be left with X equals 15 over tangent of 71. When I enter this into my calculator, 15 divided by tangent of 71 equals 5.2. Number 18, I have 56 for my angle. Opposite, no hypotenuse, adjacent. Tangent of 56 equals O over A. I times by the denominator, they cancel out. Divide by tangent of 56. These cancel out and I'm left with X equals 20 divided by tangent of 56 equals 13.5. On 19, my angle is 54. I have O and H, which means I'm using sine of 54 equals O over H. Multiply by the denominator. Then I have to divide by sine to move it away from the X. Those cancel out and I'm left with X equals 13 divided by sine of 54. That gives us 16.1. No opposite, hypotenuse adjacent. Cosine of 31 equals a over h. Multiply by x, divide by cosine. Those cancel out, and I'm left with x equals 12 divided by the cosine of 31, which equals 13.99, would round to 14. Opposites missing, hypotenuse adjacent. Cosine of 39 equals a over h times by the denominator. X is equal to 20 cosine 39. 15.5. Opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Tangent of 41 equals O over A. Multiply by x to cancel it out. Divide by tangent. That cancels out. X equals 18 divided by tangent of 41. 20.7. That is how you solve 4 sides.